All right, guys. Well, this is one of those situations where something aged like milk. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this game XDefiant that was marketed and, promoted as the Call of Duty killer is a Ubisoft game that, of course, had a decent amount of players playing it at one point, but unfortunately, it just never gained the traction of what Call of Duty has as far as like the player base, the attention on sites like Twitch. It just couldn't compete. Now, again, I'm always going to be very skeptical when I hear that some game is the Call of Duty killer or the Escape from Tarkov killer or the Fortnite killer. Like, guys, these are titles that are ingrained into people's brains. Like, in their conscious thought, if you think of, again, like a battle royale, you're going to think Apex Legends, you're going to think Warzone, you're going to think, again, Fortnite. If you're thinking an extraction shooter, you're instantly going to think Escape from Tarkov. There's just certain games that dominate the space to where these companies, even as big as Ubisoft is, trying to edge out the competition, not really knowing how to do it, is always going to end miserably. And of course, you see this article from a few months ago, back on September 17th, from PC Gamer, written by Andy Chalk, saying, "The game is absolutely not dying," referring to XDefiant. XDefiant boss rejects claims that Ubisoft shooter is struggling to find players. Executive producer Mark Rubin says XDefiant is doing just fine, thank you very much. Well, okay guys, here we are in the very first few days of December, and yeah, it's not doing so fine. I don't want to like bury the lead at all. From Insider Gaming exclusive, Ubisoft's XDefiant will be shutting down in June 2025. Now, before we get into it too much, there are a lot of reasons this game didn't succeed. No, it has nothing to do with DEI or wokeness or any of that kind of, other rhetoric that you hear on channels like mine quite a bit. The reality is, though, there might be a certain element of that factored into this, just when it comes to decision making. Because again, Ubisoft is a company that has had a lot of people in positions of power, in positions of authority to make decisions for the games that they create moving forward that probably don't deserve the jobs they had and were only hired to check a box. So while the game itself may not be promoting any sort of gender ideology or LGBT agenda or wokeness or whatever, there is the reality that the people at Ubisoft, a lot of them are probably not qualified to be making the decisions that they've been making for a few years now. Just keep that in mind. So from Insider Gaming, it says, exclusive, Ubisoft's XDefiant will be shutting down in June 2025. Several sources have revealed that Ubisoft will be shutting down XDefiant. The news was mentioned in an internal all-hands meeting today. The decision was made due to poor player numbers and a lack of player spending, according to sources familiar with the decision to sunset the game. Now, on my live stream last night, I did have a contrarian come in and try to argue that people don't actually pay attention to the pronouns and the wokeness, and the higher-ups in these studios couldn't care less, and the average gamer doesn't care. And so a game like Concord, we all should have celebrated because despite the pronouns, it didn't have microtransactions and it was a complete game. And I've always said, if you go back and watch my videos covering Concord, I thought what they did with that game was admirable. I thought it was a very nice thing that they decided to make an all-included game rather than load it full of microtransactions. However, you got to go with what the market currently is, and right now that game never had a chance, especially with the ugly-ass characters that they created. So, XDefiant coming in, trying to edge players, or, edge out the competition like Call of Duty and get players to come play their game, when they didn't have the big partnerships like Call of Duty gets, where they get rappers and they get John Wick to do skins for Fortnite. It's like, Ubisoft, I mean, you got the money, but for some weird reason, they just didn't have the connections, I guess. I don't know. It's a very strange thing to see them fail so poorly time and time again when they have such a large company with a vast history of games under their belt. So, it said it's understood that layoffs will impact a significant number of employees at the San Francisco studio and supporting studios, with some staff already receiving severance information, which is absolutely bonkers. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, you see this statement they put out here, and it says, "Dear players, important message that XDefiant is sunsetting. Thank you for your incredible support and dedication to XDefiant. We regret to inform you that we are initiating the sunset process starting today, December 3rd, 2024. I love that they call it the sunset process. That's like the nice way of saying that somebody's like, long in the tooth or being put out to pasture or something. It's like, yeah, we got to take this thing to the vet and put it down. As a result, new downloads, player registrations, and purchases will no longer be available. Season 3 will still launch. Why? But okay. The servers will remain active and the game will be fully playable until June 3rd, 2025. For those who purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you'll receive a full refund. Holy crap, guys. So if you purchased like the premium edition of this game, you've been playing it for all this time for a year now, yeah, you get a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be refunded. But if you bought the regular edition and sunk $150, $200 into microtransactions into this game, you're screwed. You're effed. You're SOL, guys. Just remember that, okay? Think about this when you go back to the whole idea Ubisoft has of don't own your games and be happy. So you see this statement put out by the executive producer saying, I'm unfortunately here today to announce that XDefiant will be shutting down. And he just kind of reiterates all the same information. Here's his official statement here on Twitter. But it gets even better because you see from Stephen Totillo here, he says Ubisoft San Francisco and Ubisoft Osaka both closed. Sydney team ramping down, up to 177 people to be laid off. And this is just more bloat on top of more layoffs that we've seen from companies like Ubisoft for the last couple of years now. Massive layoffs across the industry, across various studios. It says half of XDefiant team will be moving to other projects. Ubisoft had hoped the game would compete with Call of Duty, but recently was denying shutdown rumors amid declining player numbers. Cuts expected to actually be closer to 277, not 177. So almost 300 people, with San Francisco's production studio closing and the San Francisco business office remaining open. But it gets better because people are roasting the hell out of Ubisoft and XDefiant for denying the claims just a mere couple of months ago. Legacy Killa saying 6 weeks ago, LMAO, Ubisoft is now shutting down XDefiant. Add this to their laundry list of failures. And again, there are plenty of people saying we shouldn't be celebrating a competitor to Call of Duty shutting down because we need more competition. And yes, I believe we need more competition, 100%, guys. But you need competition that is worth it. You need competition that has been created by people who know what they're doing, who know how to go after the market and try to chase customers and make something that they want, not something that they think they want and just try to, cram it down their throats. And again, this is just, once again, it's not a situation of DEI or wokeness. It's just a matter of Ubisoft not knowing how to properly market their own games. You see right here, it says, will this age well? And of course, it's XDefiant alerts on Twitter saying, rest in peace, Call of Duty. Honeymoon phase, enjoy it while it lasts. And of course, now you see them an hour ago announcing that they're shutting down. Hypnotic pointing out, much like how I made several videos talking about this and I got called, a liar and a grifter. Hypnotic says, I made a video a month ago saying this game was going to die and it's only a matter of time. I got comments calling me a grifter. I got comments calling me a hater. I got comments calling me a liar. I got comments of people telling me the game was fine, that it was doing very well. I got comments from people, sorry, I lost my spot here, telling me the game was fine, that it was doing very well. Got comments from people saying the developers said the game was fine, thus it's fine. These people lie to you every day. They lie to you to sell you a story of everything is fine when anyone with a brain can see what's right in front of you. Just like Concord, Ubisoft also lied to you and told you everything was fine. Let this be a reminder of their bullshit. And again, I'm not going to celebrate people losing a game that they truly enjoy, especially when it's not a bad game or a quote-unquote woke game or, any of these games that are made by people who have no clue what they're doing. The game, from the gameplay that I saw, seemed to function just fine. It served the purpose that it did. It just didn't have a reason to exist. Once again, like Concord, it just was a bad idea, ill-conceived from the get-go, and probably wasn't marketed as well as it could have been. So let me know what you guys think about all this. This is just Ubisoft taking L after L after L. My God, they've been dying to get out of 2024, and Lord knows they may not survive the 2025, but that's all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.